And now, a thought from man. You know, the new Ben 10 series, it's alright.
Seriously?
It's not the worst, but honestly, I'm just sick of these reboots. Like, they rebooted Powerpuff Girls, and that was pretty mediocre, to be honest. And now this? Ben 10 literally just ended like 2 years ago. What's the point? There's no reason to have to reboot it so early.
Oh no, I know that look.
This reboot is a lot different from the original Ben 10 series, where the other shows were more focused on being action-oriented with a bit of lighthearted attitude. This one's more comedy-focused, and I just feel like that kinda doesn't work because I don't really think they're that funny, or they don't really have that much of a grasp on comedy. The other series definitely were comedy-oriented in a sense, but they knew, hey, we're not gonna be dumb, silly humor, we're just gonna be lighthearted every now and then, while we still have some serious moments going on. Here is just plain comedy. Everything's a joke, the people act very silly, and it seems like something you'd see in a very average cartoon. I just don't feel like it works for Ben 10 of all things.
This is all your fault.
My fault? I don't know why I thought a ring was a good idea.
How dare you?
All right, what you got, new guy?
Let's never fight again.
The main premise is basically the same. The idea of these two kids who are cousins go on a summer vacation road trip with their grandpa. On the road trip, they find this mysterious watch that attaches to Ben, and he becomes a superhero who can morph into multiple aliens. And while on the road trip, he meets these crazy characters and fights all these bad guys and all that. Here, it's more like wacky adventures. Just crazy shit happens for the sake of crazy shit happening. And I just feel like, it doesn't really work. The other one felt like, okay, there can be a story here. Here, it's just wacky, crazy one-off adventures. It's like, okay, come on, why? What was wrong with having a story? Here, there's nothing. It's just crazy adventures. It's just kind of disappointing.
You left that thing inside a rubber band ball all this time? Isn't that kind of dangerous?
Not so long as people minded the signs.
The characters feel a lot different from the original series. Ben acts way too much like a doofus and a goofball, and he's very cartoonish. And I just feel like, come on. The original series had Ben more like a kid who's on summer vacation and found alien powers. Here, it's just, he's an idiot. He feels very much like an idiot.
Every time you get around water, you make a fool of yourself. No, I don't. Ben, no!
And no!
Gwen has to be the worst of them all. She is an absolute pushover. Basically, where in the original series she would chew Ben out if ever he did something stupid, or even be kind of harsh to him because, you know, she acted like a sort of sibling rival to him. Here, she just feels like, I enable him. I go along with whatever crazy antics he has. Sometimes I'll even talk him into some of these stupid things. And it's like, what happened? She was the voice of reason, and now she's basically in the same boat as Ben.
Ben, 4 Arms has 4 arms. Don't you think people will notice you're an alien? Is it even a victory if you win by cheating?
I guess you're right. I didn't really think about it that way.
Oh my gosh! The champion of the SmackDown gets $1,000 cash prize! Bye, Grandpa. Back soon.
I'm gonna be a real winner.
She even acts pretty crazy too. I'm just like, what happened? Why? What was wrong with her being a good contrast to Ben? Now she's basically on the same level as him. I really don't see the point of having them together. It's not interesting to watch. Grandpa Max, they surprisingly did nothing new to him. He's just about the same. It's nothing different, nothing new. I'm kind of fine with that. But just, why did they have to change Ben and Gwen so much? It just doesn't work. It's very sad.
Watch your back, kid. This burg is full of shady customers.
What are you doing?
I'm your corner person. This is how a corner person talks.
Like old men?
In the movies, yeah.
The humor of the show is a little off. It's more goofball comedy type stuff. And for the most part, you're just feeling like, why you're telling these jokes? And I feel like I should laugh, but I just can't because I remember the old show. Because the old show freaking ended literally 2 years ago. So there's really no point to it. You just feel like, do we need this? And then to go with this new comedy format, they now, instead of having 22-minute episodes, they're now 11-minute episodes. And I just feel like they don't really work because now you're kind of rushing through the plot to get it by. And you have a lot of one-off jokes to try to help buy the time. And it's just like, come on. It just kind of feels a bit lazy and a bit rushed.
Look! Over there! Something distracting!
Huh?
Ha ha!
Owie. Excuse me, everyone. I'm gonna go freshen up now.
The theme song is pretty weak. I'm just like, come on, what happened? The original one had so much better of a theme song. Here it's just like, hey, we got a little bit that sounds reminiscent of the original. Like, really? That's kind of why these reboots need to stop. I feel like Cartoon Network is just losing it. You rebooted Powerpuff Girls and lots of people really don't like it. Now this, like, come on, why not bring back all their shows that really could use it? Kids Next Door, bring back your Action Block, bring back Young Justice, Thundercats. Why not those shows? Those definitely should come back. Not Ben 10. It's way too early. Maybe wait 10 years before rebooting it, not 2 years. Come on.
What kind of nonsense you talking?
So all in all, this reboot is pretty weak. It doesn't really work for those uninitiated because the show just ended 2 years ago. It's not like you wouldn't be able to find the old episodes and watch them and then do an easy compare and contrast. And for older veteran fans, they're just gonna feel betrayed because it changes the concept and the characters by so much. You just feel like, come on, why did you have to make these changes? There was nothing wrong with the characters in the original series. There really was no need to have to make this reboot. If anything, maybe continue the original Ben 10, if anything. Here, it just feels like, why reboot just 2 years later? It's just kind of weird. Ultimately, these reboots need to stop because there's no reason for it. No one's asking for Ben 10 to be brought back. No one was really asking for Powerpuff Girls to be brought back unless you were going to do something new and different with it. And with both Ben 10 and Powerpuff Girls, you did nothing new and different. So here, you just feel like, what's the point? And why not bring back older shows that really could use it? Generator X was really good. That could have been brought back, but you chose not to. In fact, I kind of say it was better than Ben 10. Thundercats, really good show. Young Justice, really good show. Kids Next Door, let's give that something. That spinoff could really work. But here, it's like, why? No one wanted Ben 10 to be brought back, and he didn't need to be brought back. And it's just sad that we have to settle for this. But that's just a thought.